This is spiritual tips to have the inner discipline to better ourselves, part 2. Now, if you haven't watched part 1 yet, make sure you watch part 1 before get into part 2. Okay? Now once again, if you haven't watched part 1 yet, please make sure you watch part 1 before part 2. Now let's move into part 2. Okay? Here's the things that we have to do in part 2. Because the world never teach you to give you tips to have an inner discipline, the spiritual tips to have an inner discipline. Me, I will give it to you. Okay? Now, number 1. Okay? Your doctrination has to be real. Okay? There's too many parents, authority, teachers, preachers, pastors, martial arts teachers, martial arts masters. They give false doctrines on things that don't work. Once they do false doctrine on things that don't work, the problem is it creates a lot of conflict. I was thinking, why we gotta do this? Okay? Want to make sure you doctrinate them something is real. Doctrinate something is truth. Okay? And also, as a parent, as a whoever that is, we need to reevaluate ourselves. That stuff doesn't work. And that's another problem there. They play in the hypocrite role. It means they tell you, say, in Taekwondo, they tell you get the high stance. High stance doesn't work. Now here's the thing. If I teach people, tell people to do high stance, but me, I don't like high stance myself, I'm being a hypocrite, okay? I don't like to pass on this something. Okay? That's why you gotta... here's the thing. Do you mind your stupid rules when people give you stupid rules? Do you mind your rules? Okay? That's stuff that we gotta reevaluate that and stop coming up with false doctrine. Okay? Because if you do false doctrine right there, you set them up for failure. They'll make them think you're the idiot. Okay? You're the idiot if you give them false doctrine. Already you know. You're the idiot. Okay? So, doctrination has to be real. Okay? And there's some kind of case there, something dynamic happens to too. You doctrinate the right way, but yet it doesn't work. It seems working for him. I was thinking, why I gotta do this opposing to that? If that happens, please answer them, okay? And also sometimes the other dynamic way, sometimes give them a choice and let them experience it on, okay? Now let's get to experience as the next thing, okay? Now once again, doctrinate has to be real, okay? I tell you a good example who gives real doctrination. Now, real doctrination, for example, Bruce Lee gives a real doctrination. He doctrinates you on something real. Jesus Christ, Buddha, Osho, Tiago, give you something that's real doctrination. He tell you things he don't ask you to do stuff like that. He tell you things to open up your eyes and see. Okay? That's what it needs to do. Okay? Now, number 1 on that, on part 2, is doctrination has to be real. Okay? None of this bullshit. Okay? Now, number 2, discovery or experiment, and have to experience things before have to make up their mind. Is it working? Am I gonna do this or what? Due to that, gotta give them a choice. And you gotta give them a choice. Like if you watch that movie Matrix with Keanu Reeves, and Lawrence Fishburne as Morpheus, he told Neo as Keanu Reeves, he asked him, like, your choice, what pills you want to take? You want to take a blue pill or the red pill? The red pill will enlighten him. Blue pill, moving backwards. He chose red pill. Let him choose that if he needs to. Okay? Or for your kid, like, which one you want to wear? Attribute yourself. You want to wear skinny jeans? You want to wear regular pants? Or you want to wear baggy pants? It is up to that. Up to them. Always up to them. And best thing to do is just give them a choice. Okay? And according to give them a choice, want to make sure your doctrination is real. Okay? Second, okay, give them a choice. And I'll go tell it between these two, the doctrination and discovery, okay, between that. I see a lot of that happens in the world, like authority out here gives you a false doctrine to do things that doesn't work, that's not right, and once you experiment, it doesn't work, and you've been there, then they keep on doctrinating you the same thing, it doesn't work. Doctrinating you doesn't work. Doctrinating you doesn't work. It's a waste of time. That's part of the reason why I went through that, and I've been failed over and over again because of that. Things that doesn't work. Why waste time on things that doesn't work? Okay? You want to spend time that's working, okay? Let's keep it real. You want to spend time that's work. This is a spiritual common sense you need to have. Okay? First, give them real doctrination. Second, let them experience, okay? Or you have to make their choices what they like, certain things, okay? And here's the thing: if things a couple times or more times doesn't work until they get it, once they get it, then becomes the most that case that will happen. That experience is the other thing. Is a difference between false, real doctrination and experiencing things is the biggest dynamics of all. One of the most biggest dynamic of all when I give you spiritual tips, okay? Because honestly, okay, there's someone who could be very good. That don't mean it may work for you. You have to do something that's works for your body, okay, to get it. And to experience things, you have to be unique. And there's a bunch of times, like, as a martial arts teacher, like, they give real doctrination, and a bunch of times students don't do what I recommend to do, and wants to do something that it works for them. There's something like you could learn from, you know? You could learn from. Wow, this guy's good. You could learn from this guy too, you know? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay? So, once again, do not false doctrinate him. Once experiences fail, want to make sure doctrine has to be real, and if not accomplished as an experience with that, let him experience, let him figure out, gotta give him many different way teach you figure out how to accomplish things. Okay, that's the thing you have to do. And another thing too, spiritual tips number 3 is self-motivation. Man, how many times you see people are unmotivated? Especially teenagers, man. Now, especially teenagers. Kids are pretty easy, okay? Depends on kids, okay? We have preteens, hormone change. And when it comes to teenager, hormone even more changes, where teenagers don't have that. And when teenagers don't have that, it is very difficult to do. And if a teacher at a very young age and wants to become a teenager, you're not going to have problems, okay? Therefore, you got to have that self-motivation and self-drive, like you really want it. If you don't have that self-drive, that don't want to be here, just don't waste my time, you know? Just don't be there. That's it. If you don't want to be there, that type of attitude, just don't be there, okay? Something may not be right for you, okay? Further that, like, I'm not going to doctrinate that, okay? Even though I give real doctrinations on spiritual tip number 1, but if you don't want to experience it, you don't want to motivate yourself, I'm not going to doctrinate you and think it's not for you, okay? And you're taking shortcuts. That's how you not accomplish things the way you want to accomplish, okay? Because, let's keep it real, self-motivation is a lot more healthier than people motivate you. Keep on motivate you. It's like, what if I'm not in the mood to motivate you? What if I don't feel like that day? What if that situation? You gotta have that. People who are lack of motivation are so distracted and always wait for that. To me, people motivate you. To me, it's a bullshit. The reason why it's bullshit, because it takes too much energy. And once they have no motivation and stuff, once again, if you don't have motivation and stuff, why are you here from the very beginning? Okay? That's simple. So, if you have motivation and other thing, feel free to do it, okay? What? And if you don't have that motivation, thanks. Yeah, if you don't have that motivation, then once again, it's a waste of time. Okay? So, I like to have people with self-motivation. And believe it or not, did you know, people who advance themselves in martial arts, bring them into advanced level in martial arts, to become a true advanced level in martial arts, you gotta have true self-motivations. Okay? You have to have true self-motivations. Okay? That's it. If you don't have that true self-motivation, then your body is like so behind. So you gotta have true self-motivation in order to become advanced level. Okay? This is what really Kung Fu is. If you don't stretch, you need to start stretching. If you don't get off your butt and train, you need to start motivate yourself. You need to get off your butt and do it, man. And this is how you go motivate yourself. Watch the people that will inspire you. Okay? But me, you know why I got self-motivation as a teenager? Reason why I'm a most self-motivated teenager out here, because number one, Jean-Claude Van Damme was my inspiration. Got me inspired to do splits. Because I was unflexible when I started martial arts. Therefore, I become flexible because of why I watch Jean-Claude Van Damme do chair splits and stuff. I really want to do it. I'm working my way up. This is how I am flexible as I am today because of that. Because of Jean-Claude Van Damme inspired me to do. Then later, I got spiritual guy from, like I said, Jesus, Tupac, Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee led to Eastern philosophy and this and that. That got me self-motivate. That got me express myself, and I have the self-motivation to do that. And to be honest, I had a lot more self-motivation to be myself, expressing myself, a lot more than be like everybody else. As far as being like everybody else, I don't have motivation for that. I just don't have that. Okay? And self-motivation is healthy. Me, honestly, I like self-motivation. I don't like to be pushed. Because I'm a rebel. Honestly, I am. They told me to do like this. Hey, I could adjust myself. Shut up. You know? People with true self-motivation know how to adjust himself. Okay, it may take time a little bit. Let's say example. Floyd Mayweather know how to adjust himself good. Once he get hit, almost get knocked out, he still adjusts himself. He back on his feet. Okay? This is how to do. People with true self-motivation adjust themselves. Problem is, a bunch of times, I was so self-motivated, they tell me to do other things. It's like, shut up. Let me adjust myself. Shut the hell up. Let me adjust myself. It's just annoying, man. Flat out annoying. I had a lot more self-motivation than the majority of people out here. Okay? I really do. Okay? Self-motivation to me is a healthy thing to do. That has to have. Okay? Number 4, self-discipline. Inner discipline, self-discipline. Once again, if you want to become advanced level student in the martial arts, you gotta have that self-discipline. You gotta have that inner discipline. You gotta make yourself want it. That is true discipline. Okay? There's things that the world never taught you. But me, I'm teaching. Because I'm teaching you in the spiritual way because this is the right thing to do. This is what have to happen. Okay? I have been talking about the last video about meaning of Kung Fu, meaning of inner discipline to better ourselves. You know? Instead of people go at that point where they put you in check, discipline you and stuff like that, what we gotta have is self-discipline. You do things without someone remind you. You motivate yourself. Motivate yourself is very important before you have that self-discipline. Okay? Okay? When you have that self-discipline, you know how to be yourself in a disciplined way. You know how to do what you want to do for the right reason. You know how to do your own way for the right reason. You know how to do things that works for you truly as truth to yourself. That to me is self-discipline. Okay? Not those nonsense. out there. The way you've been taught from the world is not in the. That's not spiritual discipline. Okay? I've been saying this last video. I've been saying this over and over again because this is a truth. You gotta have the inner, you gotta have the spiritual discipline versus the worldly discipline, the discipline of the world. If they tell you, like, to do shady things, don't do it. Just don't do it. You gotta think for yourself. You gotta be yourself. Okay? I'll go speak about being yourself later on in the other video. Okay? As part goes by with that. Okay? Here it is. Okay? Tip number 1. Doctrination has to be real. Okay? Do what's true recommended to do. Okay? If real doctrination does not work for them, then it's not right for you. Okay? Real doctrination. Okay? Number 2. Experiment yourself. Experience yourself what it's like. Okay? What works, what's not working, what in your personal experience, okay? Just your personal experience in general, okay? Whether you accomplish or failing, okay? You want to have that. Number 3, self-motivation. Self-motivation is the healthiest way to get you up in the highest level. It'll get you up to advanced level. So self-motivation. Let me tell you a good example of the best swordsman out here. Is Miyamoto Musashi, one of the most self-motivated martial artists out here. And he is a master of the double sword. He's a self-master of the double sword. Train out the mountains. Come out there. Become a master of the sword. Defeat his opponent, his enemy. Okay? This is how he's the best swordsman out here, because he has a true self-master of self-motivation. He is a true advance out there. He is a true master out here. And I respect him. And he inspired me ever since. Since I got that book of the 5 Rings, or documentary of Miyamoto Musashi. If you don't know who he is, I'll go send the link in the description down below the box. You can see it yourself and see how truly self-motivated he is. Okay? 4th one, self-discipline. If you want like more Confucius, I'll go send the link in the description down below the box. You can see it yourself. Read it. Okay? And if you have anything to have reflection with that, please hit me on a comment below the box. Tell me what you think and tell me your reflection. And I really want to like listen to your reflection with that. That way it gets more and more open feel. You know, there's something I may know, something I may not know. Okay, it's something I may know, but don't know at the same time. Okay? So, okay? Self-discipline. Miyamoto Musashi is the most self-disciplined samurai out here. Okay? Hands down. Who could be the most self-motivated as Miyamoto Musashi? No one. Another one I give you a great example is Abraham Lincoln. He's the most self-educated person out here before becoming a president. He was a lawyer before he was a president. Okay? He had to quit school when he was 9 years old because his mother died, this and that, but he taught himself how to read, educate himself. That's what I do myself, you know, because I've been dropped out of college, honestly. And honestly, I don't have a college degree, but I could be a lot more intelligent than people who had a college degree. Because if you watch that movie, Good Will Hunting, me, I don't watch that movie, but what I heard about that is Matt Damon, he went to library. He ended up self-discipline, self-motivate to gain, to be smarter, to be more intelligent than people who had no college, than people who had a college degree. Okay? And he's way above that because he went to library too many times. Me, I was listening to true speakers. This is how I spiritually got educated from that. And also sometimes read books on spiritual things like Tao Te Ching, Confucius, okay, Tao Chi, Bruce Lee, movies that will educate, all sorts of hip-hop, rap musics, that's so spiritual. Jesus Christ. I get spiritual education. That's what literally I am. I had that spiritual education. Me, I don't have a college degree, but I am a spiritually educated, okay? That's me, okay? And I'm glad I dropped out of college because shit's too much money. So I'm spiritually educated. Because with my passion with martial arts helped me so much through the times. Once again, martial arts have 3 components of body, mind, and spirit that needs to have to go up to the highest level. Okay? This is two things you need to have. Self-motivation, self-discipline to get you in the highest level. Okay? If you don't have these 2, and guess what? You need that level. You need that highest level. You ain't gonna be higher level as Tiario. Me, honestly, I don't have that same level as Tiario, but when I listen to Tiario, he's the most true speaker out here. But me, I'm a rookie with that. And I'm working on it too. I have that self-drive, I have the self-motivation. It's what it takes. Okay? And I'm working on being spirit. Have a strong spirit within that. And there's people out here say philosophy comes from your mind. I agree. Yes. That's what the worldly people say. But the truth with that is philosophy comes from your spirit. Come from your strong spirit with that. Y'all not hearing me, man. Come from the strong spirit. And that's part of the reason why I have that motivation to rap too. Nobody taught me how to rap, but I had that motivation to do that. And I know there's things I got work to do, but I'm in the right direction to do that. Okay? Okay? So anyways, I'm gonna be out this video. I'm gonna see you. And next one going to be part 3.